All right, Knights. Welcome to our daily podcast here that we don't do daily,
Yeah, our weekly, daily, monthly podcast
yearly,
because we do all
quarterly.
of it. Yeah, all the things.
But me and Jay did something rare. We chatted during the week, which we don't do at all, right?
Sometimes we do. Well, you mean specifically about the
No,
podcast?
I meant in general. We talk almost every day.
Oh, yeah, right. I see. Sarcasm. It went right over my
Sarcasm.
head. Yeah, I'm Drax.
What are you talking
And
about? We
nothing goes
talk
over
every
my
day.
head. I know. Except for when we're mad at each other, and then we only wish each other good night.
We only talk for 10 minutes before we go to bed, not the
Yeah,
full
but
hour.
that's it.
But yeah, so we like to talk about fun topics. And Jay, you brought up a good one.
Yeah, we were talking about like iconic weapons. So I was actually asking like some of my coworkers, some of my family, like what are the most iconic weapons of all time? Is it something we can talk about and still be, like politically correct, I guess is the right term? Like, I don't know. Not being, bloodthirsty lunatics sound like crazy people.
But throughout, fantasy video games, there's iconic weapons.
All
Movies.
I said is I wanted the Child Slayer 3000. I was talking about Anakin's lightsaber. I didn't say I wanted to kill a child. I said I wanted his lightsaber.
uh,
Sorry. Could you go ahead, Johnny?
No, that's what I was saying. So, what is iconic weapons other than my fists? Like
Oh,
One Punch
yeah.
Man. That's the best of all, by the way.
That is truly the unbeatable weapon. Nothing tops it.
That was
So
my fun segue.
yeah, I like it. So we were going to talk about two, and that's a good segue because we were going to talk about two different classes of weapon. So one is like an iconic weapon that isn't real. So a lightsaber is a good example. Like you can't actually own a lightsaber. You can just kind of have a knockoff one. Or you could have a weapon that is real. So like the golden gun from 007 from GoldenEye or whatever, if you wanted to do the video game, or the man with the golden gun for the video for the movie. That's something that you could in theory create or own. And so that was kind of like those are the two kind of distinctions. Gandalf's staff, you can't own a magical staff, but Aragorn's sword, if we say it's not made by elves, then you could own a sword that looked exactly like Anduril, the Flame of the West. So that's the distinction. So Johnny, before we get into it, which one do you want to talk about first? Fantasy or
I'm the fantasy nerd here.
okay? So you're going with the red pill.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a wild card one that I know you've never heard of, but it's one of my favorite book series and one of my favorite shows. It's called Legend of the Seeker: Sword of Truth, and that one is a very basic hilt and holder. So the Sword of Truth gives the holder the strength of 10 men and a little bit of anger to him, right? So the Richard Cypher, the main character in it, inherits it. He's a seeker of truth, so he's honest man, right? And he's able to control the power of the sword. So that's it's not a difficult design, but it's one of my favorite ones. I've played it. They had a modified version of it for Skyrim, and I always had it running around.
I like that. Let me ask you this: if you could have any fantasy weapon, would that be the weapon? What would your weapon be? Any fantasy weapon?
I mean, He-Man's sword turned him into He-Man, so you don't think I don't want to have the power of Grayskull?
Yeah, dude, you're really stuck on these swords.
Yeah, I'm a sword guy.
Okay.
I mean, we're not gonna say no to a lightsaber. I just didn't want you to take it off.
I would cut my leg off so fast with a lightsaber. I will be the first person to say no, thank you.
Really
To a
you
real
would
life
not want a
lightsaber.
real if you have
No.
the training in it.
No, I would cut. I'm not being sarcastic, dude. You know how many times with a fake lightsaber I've accidentally hit my own hand and squealed, or my toes dropped it? Like,
But if you have the force, you can make it ricochet, right?
okay, but that's a different thing. Like, we're just talking weapons. We didn't say, you don't get the force with the lightsaber.
Oh, okay, dang
It's
it!
not
I
a package
thought
deal.
it was one and done.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you actually what I want because I want you to guess it. But Johnny, I'm going to preface it with this. There was a ranked website where it gave the top 50 like iconic weapons of all time, from fantasy, and the number one pick was my number one pick. So I'm
Really?
curious if you can guess it in 5 guesses. I'm curious if you can
Hey.
get it. Give me 5 guesses.
Thor's hammer.
It's not Mjolnir.
Oh, dang.
That's a good one.
Okay. Is it Gandalf's staff?
It's not Gandalf's staff. That's another
Okay.
good one.
Yeah. I know you don't want a lightsaber. This is tough.
I'll tell you, it's not a lightsaber with
Okay.
your guess.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
That's not a guess.
It's not Harry Potter's wand.
That's a great guess.
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Dang, this is harder than I thought. Is it fantasy based?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Meaning, so like it's not like high fantasy, so it's not Lord of the Rings, but it
Uh,
is not real.
is it Master Chief Sniper?
No.
Oh, okay.
You got one more, Johnny. You're gonna
uh,
kick yourself so hard when you
I
think
know,
of it.
I know, I am. I know, I am.
Uh,
Men in Black, the little cricket gun that he
the
has in the
noisy
first movie.
cricket. No,
Ah,
it's in brightest day, in darkest night.
are you really?
Yeah. Are you
That
mad that
honestly
you
is one of the
didn't think
most
of it?
overpowered weapons of all time.
Why wouldn't you want it? So Green Lantern's ring is what we're talking about, which Sheldon always, I love on the Big Bang Theory that Sheldon is always talking about how he wants one. That would be what I would want. That would be my number one pick. Power of flight, anything you can think
Anything
of
you think of?
with the will can be brought forth. Like,
I forget that it's a weapon.
yeah, right. Like you can, yeah. Could you imagine how good you would be at golf if you had a Green
Well, I
Lantern
mean,
ring?
I would. I always joke about people like if I had powers, it'd be all just laziness. I'd use it to turn off the light, get a drink for me, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Drive me to work. Like it would not be to help others; it'd be to make my life easier.
Right? Why not?
Lift
I mean, who
heavier
needs to
weight.
work? You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot you could do. I would just be someone's bodyguard.
Could you just imagine his back scratching with that ring? See, I'm just saying, it's just I would not. Someone's like crying help, and I'm like, hold on, I got an itchy back. Like, I'm not gonna help at all.
So going back to it, so Harry Potter's wand, I think would be probably the number one pick of most people. They would want a wand
Yeah.
because there's so much that comes with that. But me, I mean, I feel like the wand really requires a lot of study. Like it takes Harry 7 years, 4 years just to come up with a little glowing shield against Dementors. I can do that in 2 seconds with my ring.
He's a slow learner.
That's true. But even still, like, it took Hermione a while too, and she's ahead of her class. Anyway, this isn't a podcast about Harry Potter, but I do like that. I'd like your guesses, except for your last one was a little.
That was just me being silly because of the picture you sent earlier.
Okay. So number 2 was He-Man's power sword. Number 3 was Iron Man's armor, and number 4 was a lightsaber.
Oh, Iron Man's armor. That's true, right?
That would have been good. But I mean, I can think up Iron Man's armor with my power ring.
All right.
Yeah. Probably the most underrated superhero, I think, is Green Lantern. Like in terms of film and.
I remember reading a thing of one of the most overpowered characters, and it was Green Lantern because there's no limit to him.
Right. He's How do you stop
Superman
a guy
has kryptonite. I mean, what does Green Lantern deal with? The color yellow, fear, right? Like it's not.
Yeah. But even that he can still fight against. Whereas kryptonite, Superman totally turns into, just the worst. I don't know. Mjolnir was on the list. Mr. Freeze's gun. Like, it got a lot lamer. Yeah. Like, there's other cool ones, I guess. Like, there was the Dagger of Time from Prince of Persia. How about we do this, Johnny? I'm going to give you one, and you're going to tell me if you would smash or pass. Is that the right term?
Let's say use or pass.
I was thinking of Super Smash Bros. That was my segue into the sledgehammer. Sorry. So I work with a bunch of developers, and every day at lunch, they play Super Smash Bros. And so every day they'll say, "You want to smash?" And I'm like,
Yes? Question mark?
I guess. I don't know. Okay. The Vorpal blade from Fable.
Pass. I don't know that one at all.
Okay, me neither. I was feeling really bad for a second. Mjolnir.
Oh, totally smash.
Okay. Sword of Omens from Thundercats.
Oh, dude. Yeah, give me sight beyond sight.
Okay, I don't know what that is, Johnny.
Oh, smash,
Give a man a bone. I don't know what Thundercats is, so can you tell me what does the sword do?
A bit too young for Thundercats, but so it was Lionel was the main guy, and he's a lion. He's like a humanoid looking but lion.
Okay.
I forget the term. Anyway, so he'd put the sword up to his eyes, and he'd go, "Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight," and then it would show him like an enemy 3,000 miles away. Like that's like, and then it looked like a little tiny dagger, and he'd go, Thundercats, oh, and then the sword would just turn into a sword. So it was pretty.
Oh,
love Thundercats.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I like that this is a distinction. Darth Maul's lightsaber, so not just a lightsaber; it's specifically his.
I remember when that came out; it blew everyone's mind.
Right, like
when that one came out, because it was
literally
like
blew my
dual
mind.
staff. Yeah, like it was a dual, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like all lightsabers, so I'd smash it.
Okay. Dagger of Time from the Prince of Persia.
I don't like daggers. I'm gonna pass. I don't know why. Something about a dagger.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of cool. Like you throw it in the sand and you can live back 20 minutes or something, right? Like it's not.
It's kind of lame. Time travel gets messy anyway. Do we really want that responsibility
Yeah.
through a dagger with
I mean, even
sand of
even even
all
Captain America
places?
abused time travel, right?
Yeah,
So,
imagine you with it, Johnny.
oh, dude, I would redo the
Shag
world.
Helen of Troy.
Already have.
Sorry, that's I'm quoting a movie. Sorry, man, this is inappropriate. I apologize. Ebony Blade, that's from Marvel, so it's like the Knight's blade.
Really? I thought that would be from
We could
Skyrim.
go there. We could go there if you want.
Skyrim has an ebony blade.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool. I like those blades.
We'll go with the Skyrim one.
Yeah.
All right. If you had to have that ebony blade from Skyrim or the energy sword from Halo, which one are you going with?
The energy sword's an insta kill.
Yeah.
I like the energy sword because I remember too. I remember when Halo 2 came out and that sword wrecked.
Yeah. It was is it not in Halo 1? You're right.
No.
It's just
Halo
in Halo
1 was
2.
the pistols because it was made up wrong. So I don't even think there was hammers in 1.
No. Hammers came out in 3.
3, right? Yeah. So the sword, when the energy sword came, it was nag. Like everyone would fight for it.
Yeah. There was someone edited a thing. Maybe I can edit it in, but it's like the first time you see an invisible elite with a sword and you're like, oh no, they're coming in through the back door. That Will Ferrell meme.
To Goofy.
It did sound like Goofy. It was supposed to be Will Ferrell from.
Oh, I thought you were gonna turn in or what's it? The guy who did Lex Luthor in the. Yeah, that. You're gonna get me, Superman.
Yeah. I'm trying to find kind of the last few things on this list. A lot of it I don't even recognize.
Speaking of this, what's your favorite Skyrim weapon?
Johnny,
that
why
was a
you
tough
ask
one,
me
right?
these questions?
Because I remember having I used that sun one. Forgot the proper name.
Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, Dawnbreaker. I used that one for so long until I found Children.
Hand touches the beacon.
Yeah, that was cooler looking than the Chillrid one, which lets you like paralyze them. But that was the glass sword that would have little freezes on it. This is unmodded, right? Just flat.
Right.
Flat.
So
vanilla Skyrim.
I really like the Dwarven Greatsword.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the all gold one.
Yeah. It's like super wide.
I used to put that on the display because you always wanted the great sword for your display, and you put the shield over them. Right.
I always thought that one looked epic in my guy's hands. I also really liked the Nordic. No, not Nordic. The Daedric.
Yeah,
the Daedric Warhammer.
They were the most metal.
But the Warhammer, not the.
Not the axe, the battle axe.
Yeah. There's one other good one. It's like. So not like base levels, but it's like a Wolf Starred or something like that. It's like the Yesmir's axe from the Companions Guild. You win it at the end, like it's reforged.
Oh yeah. That is
the double-headed blade.
Yeah. There's also another one too with the dog where you like follow him around, and it's.
Yeah, that axe is lame though. I remember looking at the stats. Like it looks cool, but it sucked. Yeah. What's your favorite weapon from Skyrim?
It's probably Dawnbreaker. It just looked the coolest.
Yeah, it does, and it sets undead on fire, which is sweet.
I mean, the bow was really once you get the white. It's on the expansion one, the white elven bow that you can shoot into the sky and make it red. That was a really cool bow.
Why am I struggling with the name of it? Onderil's bow?
Yeah, there it is.
Something like that.
Yeah, I know it's with an A.
Yeah. What about Tron's disc from Tron? Smash Pass.
I mean. Then I just feel like the boomerang guy from all the DC stuff, right? The boomeranger, what's his name?
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, I'd pass it. It's kind of weird, man.
Okay, all right, last one, and I know you're going to say you want it. Master Sword from The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I don't know Zelda,
but it's iconic.
It is cool though. That is a good one. See, I like swords.
So let me ask you this. Is there any sword that you would want more than Mjolnir?
Magical right? Are we still keeping it magical?
Yeah.
I mean, that He-Man one's great. I mean, you turn into He-Man. It is the ugliest sword out of all of them, though.
Turn into Thor.
And Thor, I'm not worthy. I know I'm not. I will say this. I have a favorite non-magical one. It is fantasy, but there's no Valyrian steel. Jon Snow's store, White Claw.
That's a good one. Why don't you own that? You should own it. You can buy
I
that one.
have every version of it but the big one. I have like the mini one, the letter opener. I guess now because I have passive income, I might as well just nerd out. There's no
Maybe
point.
maybe when we hit 1,000 subs, that'll be my gift to you.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Bestowed upon thee.
So that's your favorite. You would say that's your favorite sword?
Non-magical sword, yeah.
Okay. I would agree with that. I think mine's Narsil or Anduril. So that's Aragorn's sword from Lord of the Rings.
That is a beautiful one. I mean, I always like to draw the broken version of it.
I love the broken
Right?
version.
Like that I don't if I were to get a tattoo, that would be somewhere on me. I don't know why, but with that's my favorite logo when they have that around with the elven writing around the ring.
Right.
It just looks cool.
Let me ask you this. Two things I want to see if they're overrated or not. Let's jump into them real quick. But one of them is Excalibur. Overrated? I feel like it's a little overrated.
I mean, it does let you rule over imaginary England, but it does nothing else, right?
I would want Excalibur if it was from Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail. That's about the only version, you know? No, I like the one's okay from a few years ago, but it's a little overrated. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I've always liked Robin Hood more than King Arthur, if I had to pick that era.
Yeah, I like that. Robin Hood Man in Tights.
Well, of course, Man in Tights.
Okay, the other one. Going back to Monty Python, the Holy Hand Grenade. What are your thoughts on that? Good or bad?
That is hilarious.
Yeah. I just love his little speech before it where he talks about like there was like breakfast cereal and I don't know. They blew up a rabbit with it. The whole thing. It's just funny. I don't know. There are a few of these that I wouldn't want. So like the head of Medusa. Really?
Oh, that's kind of useless too. Have you seen it on Percy Jackson used it a lot on some of the stuff.
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would fall out of my bag at some point and I would turn into stone. So
I love how all these are just you hurting yourself. The Green Lantern ring, you're gonna forget to like turn on oxygen while you're flying.
I think that one would be fine. That's why I wanted that one. It's like I can be Bubble Boy with my Green Lantern.
It's J proof.
Yeah, I would just be like you would just see me as a floating bubble in the sky. Plus, it gives you pretty good invulnerability. So I like that. Well, that's kind of okay. Let's real quick. We're going to limit it to like high fantasy, so like Lord of the Rings. Then we're going to limit it to sci-fi, so that includes Star Wars. And then the last one's going to be superhero. So you have to pick one from each, and then we'll wrap up fantasy weapons.
Okay, what's your first one? Let's go. Lord of the Rings, or is that fantasy too?
Yeah, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, anything like that.
Okay.
So I will actually pick up a wand from Harry Potter world, mine as well. If I had to pick fantasy-wise, I think that one would be probably my go-to.
I'll go that one too, just because of Hogwarts Legacy. I had a lot of fun with running around with the wand.
How about you get a broom, Johnny, or I'll get the broom, and then I can pick you up, and you can have the wand, and we'll just ride together on the same broom.
Riding together.
You can just,
going to Evermore
as we go. Yeah, exactly.
Revelio. Go there.
I like that. So I'm going to change my answer to a broom, and you have the wand. I'll let you do the studying, and I'll be the cool guy, and you can ride on the broom with me.
Because that's how it would be in real life. So
yeah, I don't think there's a scene in Harry Potter where two people ride one broom that I can think of.
Sounds amazing.
It sounds very unwieldy.
If anyone were to do it, would be, Turk and JD from Scrubs, and you and me.
Yes. Okay. Johnny, what was the other one? Oh, sci-fi. What would you want from sci-fi?
I guess on that one, that's hard because part of me wants to use Han Solo's blaster. Just because we don't have blasters. Cool. It's iconic, right? But let's stick to let's go with my I'll go with my I almost said Hercules. Wow. He-Man sword. I've been pushing swords all cast.
That's pretty good. What about the gun from Podehl?
See, I never played Podehl, but that's a cool gun though. Yeah. My buddy Josh bought a replica one, like the real, like it's a cool looking gun.
I think I'll go with that. The gun from Podehl.
Yeah, that is a cool gun.
Although the unfortunate thing is you have to shoot it with whatever's in your line sight. So it's not like you have a teleportation device at that point. You know what I mean? Like you do, but it's within eyes. It's like D&D. You have to be within 50 feet or whatever, 150 feet, 300 yards, whatever it is. So okay, cool. And then the last one was, you already know. So I picked the Green Lantern ring, but I didn't hear from you. So this would be like superhero.
I guess Iron Man's suit would be pretty cool. I was gonna say Cap shield, but it's just a shield. That's nothing special.
So if you get this suit, does it mean like once you're out of battery, you're out? Like, what are the logistics here, Johnny? Think.
I think there's a recharge, right? We can recharge it. It's fine.
Okay. What happens if you break it though?
It's like a Tesla. Then you hand it back to Tony. He'll fix it for you.
Okay, so you're getting an Iron Man suit with a warranty, is what I'm hearing. A lifetime warranty. I like that.
Not 30 days because I'll break it.
And we'll say you have interchange, like you have 2 hearts and you can recharge them.
Yeah, just pop it out. Always have one charging and then swap it out.
Okay, I love this. All right, but here's my follow-up question on this, Johnny. Which version of the suit? Because there's a bunch.
Yeah, I think just it was really convenient on the what was the Civil War, or like the Civil War one, just because he would have it on his bracelet and it would just pop up. Not on the suitcase. I think that was Iron Man 3.
That was 2.
2, right? The suitcase one is cool, but I just liked it when it was on his wrist and it would just load in on him. It was a little more form fitted, and the chrome popped a little bit more. I think.
So why not just get the Infinity War one where he just has like the nanotech?
I don't trust the nanotech, man.
Okay. I like the Avengers one, like the first Avengers, where he has the 2 bracelets and it'll chase him around. He can call it to him. There's really not a wrong answer on an Iron Man suit.
Just the very first one that he ever made when he was in the desert.
Dude,
even that's kind of cool though. But
that one's cool, but I would not want that one. That one doesn't
stay together.
No, even the briefcase one is cool, but I don't think I'd want it.
I feel like it'd be heavy. I don't know why. In my head, I'm like, I was just kind of lugging it around.
Yeah, you want it to where you're like, boom,
right, and just goes into it. Kind of like how the Flash had it in the ring, the compression. It was easier than when he had to go change, even though he changes in a millisecond, right? Yeah. But when he had the ring that would pop out and then he would change, just made it convenient.
Right. What would really suck is if I got the Green Lantern ring and it was like, actually, this doesn't work.
It turns into like the yellow one.
You have really bad willpower. All of your projections are going to be only 3 inches tall.
And you're just like, aw.
I can make chopsticks. Ooh. I can. That's about it. A little top hat, not even a full-sized hat, just a little one. Okay, let's jump into like weapons that could actually exist. So like some really iconic ones. So like James Bond's pistol would be one. Go ahead, sorry.
Which one?
James Bond's pistol.
Oh yeah. I was gonna go video game. I feel like I saw a version of it on District 9, the Master Chief Sniper. It's a big, like it means a lot from playing games.
Yeah, isn't it funny how games do that to you? Like, I don't know. There's something like I want like a 3D printed version of like the Master Chief's rifle, or you know what I mean?
The battle the BR.
I think what I'd really want is a Needler though.
Needlers are cool. They sell them in cons.
Those are sweet. Yeah.
That's alien tech. But,
right. So I know I'm kind of sorry.
But I mean, they made it out. They're out in the movies. So the TV show came out again, season 2.
I would go with the sniper if I had to keep it realistic. I would want his sniper behind me.
A cool looking thing, and it's so big because Master Chief is actually larger than a normal person. Dude, right?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be like 6'6", right? 250.
I think taller than that. I think they're over 7.
Right. Yeah, and then also in the suit. So the sniper for like in the movie when they made it District 9, the guy was sitting down having to hold it. So he made it really realistic. I thought that was really cool.
7 feet tall, exactly.
Right. Yeah. So they're big boys.
Yeah, they're like 9s.
Yeah. So
that's my book. Shameless plug. That's my book. Sorry.
There's no shame in that plug.
So we mentioned James Bond. I said James Bond because Golden Gun was one thing I'd mentioned earlier. Like it's a good example. For me, there's an old movie called Tombstone with Russell Crowe. No, sorry, with Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. And Ron Dunn from Parks and Rec. You remember Ron Dunn? The anti-Ron?
Yeah.
The inverted Ron.
I see him a lot when I talk like this.
Done
anyway. And done.
Val Kilmer plays Doc Holliday, and he's got an old Colt pistol that's really cool with a pearl handle. Anyway, there's something about that pistol where I'm just like, it's beautiful. Like it's not the weapon, it's the performance with it. You know what I mean? Like the two are married together. Like that. I asked people this, and that was one of the number one answers that came up was Doc Holliday. Whatever he would had was really cool because we love Doc.
Doc.
I'm your Huckleberry. You ever heard that expression?
No.
Johnny, your Western game is weak right now.
It's so weak. The only Western I watched was Back to the Future 3. I don't know if that counts.
With the locomotive.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Johnny, my dad hates the sequels to the Back to the Future, and so I've never seen them because he was like, those are bad. You don't get to watch them.
I worshipped all three of those growing up. Something about a short guy surviving and thriving.
When I turned 18 and I could choose for myself, I decided I still don't want to see those.
So
I saw a couple clips and I was like,
at the dead household movie night, we're gonna watch all three.
I'm not gonna watch it. I love the first one. I watch the first one every year. My dad loves the first one.
How do you not watch 2 and 3?
I'm gonna do the same thing for my children with movies I don't like.
At least 2 though.
No. Like Marvel ended with Endgame. Sorry guys, that's they didn't make any more movies.
I mean, that's just you being a good father at that point.
Well, that's what my dad was doing because I've seen clips, Johnny.
I love 2 and 3.
Doc's children are little perverts.
Skeevy little pervs.
Yeah. Haven't you seen all that?
No.
Never mind. Okay. There's like, yeah, all right. I'll send you a video afterwards.
Jay sending out homework for everybody.
Watch the Honest trailer for Back to the Future and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. But here's a question. Never mind. I was going to say the DeLorean probably doesn't count. It's not a weapon.
But we could do a whole vehicle thing lately in the future.
Yeah, we could. That would be pretty good. Like, what ride would you want?
Yeah, Batmobile or DeLorean.
Ooh.
Spoilers. We'll go into
seriously.
That later. Teaser. Sorry, that's a teaser. It's a teaser for Cast to Come nights.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was I was trying to think of other, like, wasn't there a Jurassic Park one that you were talking about?
Yeah, so Owen's gun in Jurassic Park is a lever action weapon that is in a bunch of movies. So as part of this cast, I did some research. It's a 4570, which just means it's like a crazy bullet. And it's this little lever action. It's the one he's running around with, and it was designed for like super big game. And so like that's why they use it in these movies for dinosaurs and stuff. It was in another film called Wind River, where so this is a funny story about Wind River. There's 2 Avengers in it. So there's Jeremy Renner and one of the Olsens. What's her name?
Not
Scarlet
Kate.
Witch.
Yeah.
No.
I'll remember it while we're talking.
Yeah, sorry. So the Olsen in I know her last name's Olsen. Sorry. So Scarlet Witch, they're both in it. And she gets attacked by people. Spoiler warning. She gets attacked by people wearing body armor, and like from a distance, Jeremy Renner has this sniper and just starts blowing through body armor. So it's like pretty cool to take out the bad guys. So she's an FBI agent and he saves her. Anyway, it's a heavy movie, Wind River is, but it's worth the watch. It has a really heavy but needed message. I'll say that.
I got 2 for you. One changed the game, and one is just a funny one. Sawed-off shotgun.
Sorry, it's Elizabeth Olsen.
No, Elizabeth. There we go. Good callback.
Sorry.
Zombieland 1, the sawed-off shotgun, because I remember we would play Nerf Wars older than we should, and we'd always get a shotgun and we'd saw it off. And it was also in a video game that we used to play. But the sawed-off shotgun was something that was just like, what's his name? The main guy off Zombieland.
Edmonton. I can't remember.
No. Ed.
Tallahassee.
Yeah, Tallahassee. Man, how do you remember that, but not freaking
Elizabeth?
Man, we're that's why people listen to us, right? Because we can't remember any names.
Dude, I'm usually pretty good, but like today my brain has been jello.
Woody Harrelson. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
I went to the goggle for that one, the goggle. Anyway, second one. And I remember the turn of events. Not a gun, but it's a weapon. Katniss Everdeen with a bow and arrow.
Dude, how many people wanted to be an archer because of Katniss Everdeen? Maybe the most iconic weapon of all time, actually.
I just remember watching a thing after about how archery school and camp shot up 300% after that movie.
My wife, people always say, "Oh, Katniss," because she's an archer and she does some competition. Anyway, but they always that's always the go-to more than anything else. Katniss is so cool,
right? So that I think I don't remember anything changing something so backwards, kind of.
Right. So I would say Legolas had an impact on me wanting to be an archer, but I think Katniss probably had more of an impact on everyone than even Lord of the Rings, which is like blasphemy.
Yeah, but, and it's something that every gender, every age was like, "Whoa, no, I want to shoot. I want to shoot that bow and arrow."
Seriously, yeah. I love that, Johnny. You're so smart. You're so effing smart. How did I
just have a very affection for the Hunger Games. Too.
An addiction or an affliction?
Both.
Ah. I love that, Johnny. Wow, what a good poll.
Yeah. Well, I also did my research 2 seconds ago. I too come prepared for our casts.
Funny weapon. So someone mentioned a reed from I can't remember. The Usual Suspects. Sorry, the Usual Suspects. There's someone who's getting hit by a reed, like a horse whip. Indiana Jones's whip.
Oh yeah, that's iconic too.
Yeah, that one I wanted growing up really bad.
Who didn't want to be Indy? I mean, still today we go out to conventions and we always see an Indy, right?
Yeah, that one guy who'd been building his outfit for 30 years.
A millennium.
Yeah. Seriously. Since World War II.
Yeah.
No, Indiana Jones' whip is cool. I did have a whip when I was younger, and I always wanted to be like him.
It works.
Yeah.
And Tomb Raider had some normal Glocks, I think, nothing crazy, but that was a big thing for a while.
Did she have Desert Eagles? I feel like her guns were huge.
Okay, were they bigger than I thought?
Yeah.
I know in the game.
I'll look it up.
Okay, but that was, I think, the only, I guess, if you want to go pure video game movie-esque. But like I said, Katniss is the one that changed the game.
Yeah, seriously. She just has some Heckler and Cox, so just anyway.
That's what
it's like a James Bond kind of John Wick kind of vibe. He had some cool ones. But this isn't so other things I think of are like because some of these swords and stuff kind of ride both sides where like I joked about the sword of Excalibur. It depends, or Valyrian steel. What would you think? So one that I think of is like the Witcher's blades. What do you think? Magic, not magic? Like having two blades, one's made of silver.
I think his blades aren't magic. I think he's the magic wielder. Some blades make you magical, right?
Right.
And I think his is the only one where they're magic. A Witcher is magical, right? Because they go through training. And their blades are just expensive and good to kill monsters. It's not like you can buy them anywhere.
Right. Okay, cool. I like that. So Witcher's blades.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in.
Yeah.
What do you think about like Kill Bill, like that samurai sword from Kill Bill, or The Walking Dead? Yeah. So we'll just go with katana because there's so many.
Those are cool. No. And always the wielders on them are always like hardcore.
Yeah.
Right? Even The Last Samurai, right? Awesome. I remember watching The Last Samurai.
Yeah. With Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful man. Sorry, I did buy a katana because of The Last Samurai.
No, I would get one too. My sword collection is weaker than I thought it was. Now that we keep talking about things,
mine's cheap. It was like $130 or something.
Okay,
it wasn't.
Big spender. I thought you were going to say like $40.
Well, it was a gift, so to myself.
To myself, from myself.
No, yeah. Any what other?
The only thing that we haven't hit, and they're not great, but everyone knows, like Star Trek phasers, right? Like everyone knows those.
That's sci-fi.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's like the only thing we didn't really touch upon on these conversations. That's
true. I was trying to think of small blades though. Like there are some iconic knives. I'm just trying to think of what they are.
There's not a lot of assassin movies we watch. I think that's more like an assassin.
Yeah, we talked about some smaller blades, I guess. Like there's in Skyrim, there's the Dark Brotherhood blade.
Yeah. What's the other one too, where you go to the guy who was running a museum?
Mahoon's razor.
Yeah, that was my favorite one for a while because it looks nice with your not Thieves Guild, the Brotherhood outfit. It matches really well.
Right. There's the dagger from Lord of the Rings that Aragorn hits out of the air when it gets thrown at him.
And there's
Pretty iconic.
is it Bilbo's dagger that it's it's a
Sting.
sword for him? Sting, yeah. It's a sword for you. And in anyone else's hand, it's a dagger, but for you, it's a sword.
Sting might be the most iconic dagger of all time. Like, or knife, or I think
No, it's
so.
a dagger for humans, but for him, it's a sword.
Right. But a dagger is just a long knife, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Damascus steel, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as that, I mean, Dirty Harry had a normal 6. Like every Western has like a normal like 6 shooter, right? A pistol.
Dude, Dirty Harry's is a 44 Magnum.
Ooh, you knew that
Can
one.
blow your head clean off.
Ooh. You feel lucky when you hold it.
Well, do you punk? I'm kind of running out. I was trying to think. There are some characters who have brass knuckles, but I can't remember who they are now. I don't know. There's a whole laundry list. You can have a billion. So Johnny, let's go to realistic. If you could have a realistic weapon,
I'd use Katniss's bow. Something about it. I don't know if she had an iconic looking bow. Let's go off. Nice. I'm going off movies. I mean, obviously you'd want a Lord of the Rings elven looking one, but realistically one that's done. Their bow's pretty cool. Even there's really cool crossbows in that one. But yeah.
So there's a scene in King Arthur Legend of the Sword where one of the guys is going to assassinate someone with a longbow, and that's what I would want. A really like an old English war bow that you can shoot 300 yards. Like homeboy just launches his arrows.
Aren't they like you have to be stronger to launch it too? Isn't the string tighter?
Yeah, it's like 100-pound draw. I couldn't do it. Yeah. What's funny is in the show he's just like sitting there like this, like do, and I'm like, yeah, that's not how this works.
Not with the longbow.
Yeah, not when you're shooting at that distance. Sorry. Even Katniss does that a little bit, and I'm like, well, that's movie magic because that's not how. That's not how.
You're not going to reach the end of the dome on 2 with your bow. Like she just shoots up in the sky and it explodes. I'm like, isn't that like 500 yards up high? Like it's a pretty high dome.
Yeah. Definitely not with the string behind it and that bow poundage. So
yeah, but hey,
Katniss is jacked. Like we agree, she's jacked. But like, is it 100-pound bow? I don't think so. Like, I don't know. Well, that's pretty good, Johnny. What else is there? Any final thoughts?
No, that was good. I like fantasy bows and some cool realistic ones, but. Knights, what do you want? What did we miss other than having Green Lantern's ring? Right, Jay? That's your last ones?
Yes.
What was yours again, Jay? I think I interrupted it before.
Oh, my final?
Yeah.
Ring? I just said. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So I wanted the ring. I wanted the Harry Potter broom, so you and I can ride around on it. And then I don't remember what the middle one was. Clearly, it made a big impact.
Yeah. Aragon's sword somewhere.
Maybe that was it. No,
not Aragon.
Because it was in the sci-fi realm. Oh, the gun from Podehl.
Oh, okay, that's right. That gun from Podehl. Nice.
That way I can really get somewhere fast with my broom. Just a bunch of portals that I fly through.
All right, Knights. Guaranteed we missed about 50 of them. Tell us what we missed. Tell us what you like, what you hate. Let us know.
And we'll do a trivia of depending on the comments, we can do some trivia like, which is the most iconic weapon, since we've been doing a bunch of trivia.
Yeah, we love your interactions with us on Instagram. So much fun.
Seriously. Thank you so much, Knights. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will catch you on the Flippity Flop.
Flippity Flip.